But first, that news of Rangers' withdrawal from the Tennent Sixes. The sponsors held a news conference earlier this afternoon to announce details of the January tournament. Jerry McNee reports.
Revitalised each year.
It was announced by the SFA and Tennents this afternoon that of the 10 Premier League clubs invited, only Rangers declined. Their place has been taken by First Division leaders Airdrie. I asked Secretary Jim Farry if this is part of a reported vendetta between Rangers and the SFA.
We don't subscribe to that view. That is a view which has been promulgated in certain sectors of the media. There is no vendetta between the Scottish Football Association and any of its member clubs. Were that not the case, then of course an invitation would not have been extended to all of the 10 Premier Division clubs. We're delighted to say that 9 accepted very quickly, and Airdrieonians are delighted that they and their supporters will have the opportunity to participate and to fly the flag for the First Division.
If there's any disappointment, I think it's probably with the younger fans of Glasgow Rangers who will miss an opportunity to come and see the club participate in a tournament. The family atmosphere at the Sixes means that it's always very safe, and it's really a family occasion where people can take youngsters in the 3, 4, 5 age group to see people like Ali McCoy, who they may not see normally.
The matches will be played on Sunday, January the 20th and Monday, January 21st at the SECC in Glasgow, and will be shown exclusively on Scottish television. Ticket details will be announced in the press tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Terry Butcher has been talking about the news that Rangers are now prepared to listen to offers for him. He trained briefly at Ibrox this morning and afterwards gave me his reaction.
I've had four great years up here. I think I've had everything that could possibly be thrown at me, and obviously something else comes along. It's just one of those things.
But it was a total bolt out the blue when this was reported yesterday that...
well, I knew of a lot of transfer speculation and everything else, but obviously to be put on the list, you know, obviously it's something new as well. But as I said, it's, you know, that's football.
It's been suggested you no longer have the adequate passion for this club. But what would you say about that?
Well, given the chance, I'd like to prove that. But well, we'll have to see. It's a very difficult time at the moment, so
the nice thing is clubs are queuing up for you as well.
Well, I hope so, anyway. I hope so, but we'll see. It's hard to take in at the moment, but that's football.
Today's interview with Terry Butcher is the first time a Rangers player has spoken to Scottish television in the past 8 months, and the interview was done without the cooperation of the Ibrox club. Now, a lot of viewers have asked us to explain why we haven't had interviews with players and management of Rangers Football Club since last February, and more recently with Celtic Football Club. After recent inaccurate newspaper reporting of this issue, we feel it would be helpful to explain the background. The Rangers dispute stems from an incident which took place on Saturday, February the 17th at Ibrox. At that time, the Rangers manager, Graham Souness, was serving a touchline ban. Midway through the first half, Souness appeared in the tunnel during a stoppage in play.
Ian Ferguson came crunching in just after the ball had gone, and that's what caused the damage. Graham Souness now in the tunnel, roaring instructions out onto the field. Clearly unhappy with the commitment being shown.
The Rangers manager, by his own admission, shouldn't have been there. The incident, with a photograph of Souness in the tunnel, was reported 2 days after our programme by the Scottish Daily Record. Subsequently, Souness was fined £5,000 by the SFA, and the touchline ban was extended by them for a further 2 years. The SFA, meantime, have made it clear that television evidence was not used. The report of the Rangers manager's action at Ibrox was made by SFA security advisor David McLaren. The SFA secretary, Jim Farry, told Scott Sport that at no time was television evidence taken into account. Indeed, we have gone to great pains to stress that and to reaffirm that such evidence will not be considered in the future. Graham Souness told us he believes the inclusion of the picture was malicious and that someone at Scottish television is out to get him. He says he'll deny us access until the end of his ban, which expires in May 1992. In the case of Celtic, 5 days before the Scottish Cup final, their manager Billy McNeill told Scottish television we wouldn't be given access for interviews either to himself or his players. He gave as the reason for this 2 items written by our commentator Jerry McNee in the Scottish Daily Express. The first was published on Tuesday, October the 2nd.
My Celtic mole informs me there was a move at Parkhead a couple of years ago to release Jerry Craney after he'd been played on the right. But after trying him as an out-and-out striker, it was decided to persevere with him. What a good decision that has proved to be.
The second article he took exception to appeared 2 weeks later.
Despite a bad start to their league season, Billy McNeil's Celtic are in championship contention and have reached the Skol League Cup final, thanks to an 8-match unbeaten run. But I suspect there will be a major inquiry this week into Saturday's 5-1 home defeat in the reserve match against Dunfermline. Celtic have about £3 million of talent available to their second string.
McNeil has described these items as personal vitriol, designed to get him the sack. Scottish television completely disagrees with this interpretation. We consider that both managers are doing a great disservice to the many thousands of supporters who rely on television to provide their links with these clubs. Scottish television is happy to resume a normal professional working relationship with both clubs at any time. And a short time ago, Celtic director Michael Kelly contacted us to say that the club is now prepared to try to resolve their differences with us.